All the gray hair doesn't reflect wisdom. You need a learning and never give up attitude and improving rather proving. So here we are together to learn. So good afternoon everyone and welcome to Orator House Butwal session 14. Let your shadow grow. I Govinda Adhikari, presenter for today's session, would like to welcome all the viewers on behalf of Orator House Butwal. This program is streamed on YouTube channel of Orator House Butwal and its uniform resource locator has been shared on Facebook page of Orator House Butwal, Think and Grow, the next as well. Orator House is a new generation platform for youth and society to discuss on current affairs and share the personal opinions. Orator House Butwal is a program initiated by Think and Grow in collaboration with Possible Foundation and the Next Education Consultancy supporting as an educational partner. So Let Your Shadow Grow will be conducted on two parts or in a two session. The first one, we will go through the keynote speaker uninterrupted session for approximately 15 to 20 minutes. Then the second part, we will be addressing related question from the topic and the query during live session. And also we will try to address query received on emails. So the center of attraction, sharing his life ethics experience on how we can grow our shadow. Dr. Samuel R. Sampath, Senior Principal, Mental, Namaste Academy, who believes in learning and updating, improving over proving. Update and learn every day, rather limiting only to certificate. So let me introduce to our keynote speaker, Dr. Samuel R. Sampath. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
So,
Good afternoon, everyone.
I'll still take a couple of minutes to introduce, though if I go through the introduction, I might take some time and which might take some of your session too. So I will try to conclude on very short note. So Dr. Samuel R. Sampath, Senior Principal, Mental, Namaste Academy. Profession wise, he's teacher. He is an educationist. So he have been in a lot of position before working as a senior principal. He has worked as a teacher, in charge, headmaster, secondary school, senior secondary school principal, inspector, CBSE inspector, senior principal, campus principal, and lot of position to explain. And the next one is he has done a lot of courses like and the degrees. He has a Bachelor of Arts in Geography and Bachelor graduate in Education, History, Economics, and moreover he is doctorate in Sociology. So the above qualification tell us quite clearly that Dr. Samuel R. Sampath is passionate about education. So Dr. Samuel R. Sampath is a student of Dr. APJ Kalam, who is also an author for The Wings of Fire, and is having about more than 37 years of working experience and has worked in almost all the areas in education field from Kanyakumari to Himalayas, and with few school overseas. Thus, he had a very long and satisfying working relationship with the student, the parent, body, and the management. And the main part is still learning and willing to learn. So without further delay, I would like to hand over this platform to Dr. Samuel R. Sampath. Sampath sir, over to you. Floor is all yours. Welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Govinda Adhikari, the orator, the thinker, and the one who places the seed in the right ground for it to grow. And he makes a lot of seeds in Nepal to grow to its fullest fruition. So I would like to appreciate and thank Mr. Govinda Adhikari for giving me this platform to share my little knowledge with all the viewers, so that it will really help you, believing so, that it will take you to another level of understanding one's life. Today we need plenty of support in this world for us to move forward. If you are a baby, you need your parents' support to take the first step. If you are a student, you need your teachers and parents' support along with the environment to take your first step in education. If you are a successful student, then you need this world support to recognize that you are a successful person in your area in which you have come from. So people look at everyone only as per their appearance. As soon as you see someone, you tell them, hey, you're looking like an hero. Because that guy really happens to be so old, lost everything in the life, getting support to live with, and expecting the last days to come in. But when people look at that guy, you may be looking old, you may be looking done with everything, but when we look at you, we look at something that is already done by you in your past. So we don't look at a person as per the look what he is. We don't look at the person as per what he was supposed to be. Now let me just show you a tree which people just look at that. This tree is easily identified from any distance, whether you go closer, whether you're far. It's easily identified it's a tree, and certain things are fallen down, and it has a lot of leaves, branches, it has a good trunk, and that's all I can see in this tree. If my imagination is set free, then I can imagine there is a bird inside this tree. There's a bird trying to fly out of this tree. There may be a nest inside this tree. There may be certain eggs or young ones of these birds in this tree. I can go on imagining maybe the color of the leaves are dark brown. The size of the leaves are quite wide, big, long, thick. And some color of the leaves may be light green. I can imagine as per what I have seen in my previous life or in my previous experience. But actually what a person holds what does a person has in him, what type of power he possesses, cannot be measured by others. I would like to tell you a story before I could show you the real picture of this tree. The story is there is a man who has two sons and he is quite rich. One son stays with the father and listens to everything what he says, and he is a great supporter to his father. So father do not ask him, where do you go, what do you want to do, why you need money, what is your plan, because father knows very clearly what my elder son really would like to do or what he will be. Maximum he knows. Minimum is always a surprise in everyone's life. Whereas the younger boy who has good number of friends coming from certain family, they wanted to live the fullest life right now, immediately. And to live the fullest life, they need certain financial support. So therefore they decide that the only guy who has a lot of money is this guy whose father is very much rich. So they approach him and say, you, why don't you bring enough money for us to go for a small tour and we will enjoy our life and come back. So their ultimate thought is going for a tour to enjoy the life. Whereas the friend does not say no, or he just gives a break for giving a thought. He exactly accepts the request of his friends, and so he goes to his father and he asks for money. Immediately father asks him, why do you need money? Just before he could ask money to his father, he could see that he was giving money to his elder brother when he asked, give me few thousands and I have an expense. And he did not ask why you need it, what for you need it. And he just gave it. So seeing that, he also believed that father will give me without asking any question. So he went and asked, father, give me some money. Immediately father looked at him and asked him, do you really need money for a very good cause? May I know why you need money? And the son did not explain why he need money. Instead, he started arguing. He started arguing with the father, saying that you just now gave the money what my elder brother seek from you without asking a single question. And why do you question me so much? And father again says, my dear son, both are my children, and I know you very well. Why don't you tell me what for you need this money? Whereas the younger son, getting upset with the question, he gets angry, and the anger leads to speak in a very harsh way, and there comes an argument, a bad argument, an ugly argument, which ends the younger boy demanding, "Father, give me my share. Divide your property and give me my share. I will go away and live happily." After father arguing with him, "Don't do this. I want you to live happily. I want to help you. I want to protect your future." He did not listen. His friend's request was always ringing in his mind, and he wanted to achieve the happy situation, the enjoyment with that money as per the guidance of the friends. So he at last receives his share. He takes everything. He moves with his friends. He spends happily. He goes from one place to another, one city to another. He spends in every sort of happiness. Every sort. A day came that his money became thinner and thinner and thinner. At last, he had very little money, and friends knew that he does not have enough money. So they started giving excuses, lame excuses to him, and disappearing from the scene. They ran away from him. And when the last friend left him, he had no money in his hand. He could not come back because his conscience did not permit to go back to his father, who fought with his father and took his share. So he decided to find a job. So he goes around and he asks for a job. And everyone who wanted to give a job, they ask him, "What do you know?" That means, what is your qualification? That means, what is your experience? That means, what all qualities that you have which will help me? That is the only single question everybody asks. What do you know? And there, this gentleman at last finds a job in taking care of the pigs. That's the only job that he was able to get because he did not have proper qualification. He did not complete his graduation. He did not get professionally qualified. He lost his life. So he could only work in the pig's shed. And there, what happened? The days were very, very pathetic, that he could not get enough food. He started eating pig's food because whatever food he got, it was not enough. He started eating whatever the food that was given to the pigs. At last, the owner of the pigs saw him eating the food what was given to the pigs. So he chased him away from the job. And that is the time that he realized, my father's home is far better than all this joy. And then he came to his wisdom. Then he came to his wisdom and went back to his father. I will ask my father to kindly give me some work in my house, in my father's house, because he cannot say it is his house anymore. And he had a big doubt whether father will accept. So as he was approaching his home, he could see father standing on the stair, on the terrace, and just trying to find out who is the guy who is coming in a rugged clothes, torn, dirty, ugly, long beards. And he could identify it is my son, younger son. He comes running from the stairs down In the old age, he runs towards his son. He hugs him, even though he is dirty. He hugs and kisses him and takes him into the house. He gives him bath. He gives him the best dress without asking any question. He gives him the best food that was kept ready. And son started crying. My dear listeners, have you any time had this type of experience? Should this type of experience come in anyone's life? Don't think that only when you come back to your father, then you have this experience. Now let me just come back to the real picture. I want to show you the real picture. This is the actual power that one has who really do not know what power that lies within you. Only when somebody looks at you, then you will be able to understand that you are in the right place. So Mr. Deepak will now, we will see how this real picture looks. If you can see this picture, whatever we have not imagined are also there. You can see those fruits, those leaves, the real color, which we never thought this tree would have this type of colors. Same way, many of you have plenty of good qualities in you. You have plenty of power in you. Until that hidden power is seen by others, they will only see your shadow. So your shadow should grow. That means the light should fall on you closer. When the light comes closer to you, your shadow will grow and your inner power will be seen very clear by others. If you want your shadow to grow, allow the light to fall on you. That means allow the people who are looking at you to find your qualities, your power, your abilities, for which I would like to tell you, live as if you were to die tomorrow. Learn as if you were to live forever, as said by Mahatma Gandhi. Never ever underestimate yourself, because you are the power of the world. There is power in you. Let others understand the power what you have. So let your shadow grow so that the light will fall on you closer. And this great light will take you to the next level. So know you better so that you know your future better. Let not others tell what you are. You should know who you are. And whoever imagine that I am greater than the other person with whom you may converse, you may work with, you may live with, you may see, will always have their shadow smaller, because the light on them will be from a far distance. the light which falls on them will fall from very far distance. And that is why the living things which are in the polar region are very less in number compared to the living things that are near to the equator. The more the light, the more the bright. I wanted to ask all the listeners today, take a view yourself. Go in front of the mirror. Every day you're looking at yourself, only your outward appearance. Go in front of the mirror of Holy Book, the mirror of knowledge. God Himself is a mirror. The work in which you are involved is a mirror. The people with whom you are moving about or moving with, they are mirrors. They will reflect what you are. When your powers are not clear, how people can look at you? They will look at you very small, or they may not look at you. But when your power is clear, people will look at you at a very great. So now, let me just tell you that everyone who are listening, you are the power. You are the power. You are completely different from others. Don't compare with anybody. You have best quality in you. Believe in yourself that you are the power. And once you believe, then you need not to worry about how deep the root of the tree, how huge the branches, and how good it looks, and what is the strength of the tree. It need not to be measured because the fruits in the tree, the flowers in the tree will reflect the quality of the tree. So let your fruits be observed by others. Taste it, let them taste your fruits and let them praise you for having such a wonderful quality of power. God bless you as you have been listening. And I want to thank Mr. Govinda Adhikari for giving this wonderful opportunity to express my thought, my view. But I always believe that one who's listening, they are wiser than me. They know more than me. And I wanted to end this little thought telling that until you become a child, until you become a child, you will never enter the kingdom of God, or you will never learn from others, because a child will always learn. So you should become a child. That means you should throw out all unwanted things in you. You must forget that you are a old, rich, powerful person, or you are a strong person physically. Mentally, you are a strong person, highly educated. I have everything in my life. Forget all those things, because those are things the world gives. But what God gives is that child nature. Until you become a child, you will never learn. So if you want to learn, you become a child. So I wanted to be a child in front of you, and your experience, your knowledge, your expertise and your wisdom should always come to me so that I can learn some more in my life so that I can give that one to others who are in need. Once again, it's my pleasure and give great thanks to Mr. Govindaraj Adhikari for giving this wonderful opportunity to sketch my view in front of everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Samuel R. Sampath, mentor, senior principal, Namaste Academy, and many more to say. A very well explained session by our mentor. The example of the fruits, flowers, color, and the other part of the shadow was really beautiful. Uh, so, as Sir explained that real power lies within you, and it's you who is going to identify yourself, not other. It's something like motivation comes uh, inside out rather than outside in. So allow light to fall on you. You will find a power, ability. Never underestimate yourself. There is a power in you. So uh, I also want to request all my viewers, all the viewers of Orator House Butol, if you have any sort of question, kindly text on the YouTube channel of Orator House Butol. We will try to address the question, being in our time constraint, as much as we can. So if I won't be wrong if I say, before you pray, you should believe. Before you speak, you should listen. Before you spend, you should earn. Before you write, you should think. Before you quit, you should try. And before you die, you should live. So, going to the question answer session, just a little bit of I just want to clarify if whether we won't be wrong if we relate the topic let your shadow grow, which is related to lifetime ethics and values. So can we relate this with self actualization or self evaluation, dear Dr. Sampath sir?
Yeah, it can be related according to one's capacity. Because if I'm going to tell you have to measure the milk with um a pot, because I know the pot contains 20 liters, but what the pot that you have, I do not know whether it can hold 20 liters or whether it can hold more than that. So when you wanted to measure one's life, you can measure with your own scale, because when you measure with your own scale, you can measure it full. If you take my scale and measure, it may not be enough for some of you, or it may be too big for some of you. So, this shadow in one's life is not that gray area, not that failure, not that what you are unable to do, your weakness, not those things, because these are all unwanted weeds that grow in a field, and it has to be pulled out at the right time by the owner so that the crop grows healthy. So you can measure a life ethic. This is one of the part of the life ethic. Let your shadow grow so that the object in which the light falls ultimately is brighter, clearer, so that others can see it in the right way.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Sampath sir. So before entering the question answer session, so we would like to go through small advertisement and we will come back soon. So I would my technical team. Welcome back after a short advertisement. So, believe, conceive, achieve. Let your shadow grow depends on one's perception, belief system. So, do you want yourself to be confined to a small place, or do you want to fly? So, Prithvinarayan had a vision of Nepal 250 years back when he was ruling Gorkha. We need to thank him for ours and nation's identity. So, we are blessed with a mind which knows no boundary and has the panacity to wonder, and inventions like mobile and planes. So, internet information are available on the fingertips these days to all of us. But what about the remote area? This is the time to think. And yes, we will think about that too soon. So I just want to enter to the question and answer session. So the first question, as per the email received to us, so can you see a shadow? If you are able to see a shadow, why you are able to see the shadow? So this question is related to let your shadow grow. So I believe Dr. Sampath sir will explain us in detail. Can you see a shadow? If you are able to see a shadow, why you are able to see the shadow? Over to you, sir.
Right. See, the question is, it should be thought in the right sense. If you are turning against the light, or you are against the light, 100% you can see your shadow. But if you are not looking at your shadow, others can look at your shadow. That means you are facing the light. What is light? Light can be defined in many ways. One of the way is light is light. So when you are looking at the light, how I have to go forward at this challenging time. At this challenging time, how I am going to survive, how I am going to face tomorrow, how I am going to lead when I am looking at this world. There is a shadow behind me which people are watching. Now in this picture you can see the cat is up to something. The cat is up to something. And you can imagine whatever thing that the cat is up to. Maybe there is another cat opposite to that cat. Or it is just waiting for the master to give its bread, its milk, or it is waiting for that rat which it was chasing to come out, and just waiting and watching. And look at the shadow. It's not a cat. So people who are watching will say, look at this cat. It's resembling like a lion. Look at the walk of the cat. It moves like a lion. Oh, this cat is huge, big, great. And same way, people are looking at you. If you are not looking at unwanted things in this world and only focusing on those things which will take you somewhere in your life, then your shadow will be bigger, greater, and it will make others think that you are not an ordinary person. That is what actually the shadow, where if you can see the shadow, then you will see only you. You may see only you. But if others see the shadow, they see not you, the shadow of your power.
Okay. Thank you, sir. So the first question was very well explained. The other can see your power. So I would like to move to the next question. Being said that we are 16-17 minutes left to conclude the program, we will stretch a little bit if the questions are there from our viewers in the live comment box. So meanwhile, I'll move to the second question. Does shadow exist all time? Does shadow exist all time?
If you literally ask, no. Because when you live in a dark world, the shadow doesn't see. It is only for a moment. Here, you can see a cowboy. He is taking all the cattle towards its destination. Will this same thing will be seen everywhere that he moves? It will not. So in one's life, struggle doesn't come always. Failure doesn't come always. Poverty doesn't strike always. Challenges are only to those people who don't have answers. So therefore, shadow does not exist always. It exists only when you feel it and you are into certain, in a certain world. Because nowadays, great leaders. I just want to ask one simple question back to Mr. Adhikari, that will my color change to your color and your skin color, and can your skin color come to my color? Mr. Adhikari, I'm asking you.
Yes, sir.
Even though you are
okay, sir.
Can this color come back to you? Can I exchange my skin color to you and your skin color to me?
So that I'm not the one to answer that. You need to talk to the dermatologist.
Yes, because there is it was tried. It was tried by Michael Jackson. We have examples in this world. We have examples in this world, and what has happened later? There are people who have tried to change the shape of the nose, shape of the face, colors, skin color, eyes color, color of the hair, and so many things. Will it exist forever? Will everybody follow that? No. So therefore, shadow is only when you feel it. And if you don't feel it, shadow does not exist. Always.
Thank you, sir. So not
Well,
does shadow exist all the time? Not always, but yes, only when you feel and when you are in certain world. So that was quite a good example. You related the and you want to change the skin color. Hope the color of the skin is not much fair in the complexion as you were insisting on the question. But somehow, thank you. Indirectly, I take that as a compliment. So I, with your due permission, I want to move forward in for the next question.
and
So
there's one small thought I would like to add to this.
please,
If
sir.
if the light is focused in front of you, or behind you, or by the side of you, surely there will be shadow existing. But if the light comes from above, if the light comes from your guru, from your mother, from your father, from God, if it comes from heaven, your shadow will be observed by you yourself. It will not be seen.
Yes, sir. That's blessing always come up. It's something
Yes,
like the flow, water flow from up to the top to bottom, not
yes,
bottom to top. So it's something like the
yes.
blessing. And if you want to learn, that is what we are doing. If you want to learn, you should surrender, and you never should be upstand. You should stand below. That is what been explained by various gurus, and even we got uh, to know today from you too. So this next question, what is the color of the shadow, sir, as per your presentation?
Um, I would like to give one small example. When Ashoka, one of the great kings, who converted himself to Buddhism, after the Kalinga War, that war, he could see everywhere blood. And whenever he used to go into his room, go into his palace, everywhere, he could see only blood, only blood, only blood. And the color of one person is according to his perceptive. What is your perceptiveness? How do you take things? If you take things heavy and the shadow is dark enough, if you take things light, the shadow is very light. But which things you have to take it very serious, and which are the things that you have to take it very light, is according to the situation, according to the problem, or according to the challenges that you are facing in your life. So you have to have wisdom. That's why people who are running education consultancy, education supporters, education providers, why are they taking up this type of platform to educate people? It's not their their main job, but they wanted to help. I wanted to once again wanted to say hats off to Mr. Govinda Adhikari for initiating such kind of things. As there are many people are doing this, but reaching to the people whom he knows, with whom he is connected, is always a great thing that one should know. So challenges, if you know what is the challenges that you are facing, then surely you are going to achieve in your life and people are going to appreciate. So
Uh,
the
thank
shadows are not big or small, colors are only in your own mind, in your own power.
Okay, so thank you for the example of Ashoka who converted into the Buddhism. And also you explained very beautifully regarding war and blood color. And yeah, shadow depends on one's perspective and perception. So thank you. So we would like to just move forward to the next question. So taking the time consider we are left for next 8 to 10 minutes. So we will try to conclude within time because time and tides wait for no one, and we should be in a state to respect the time. So, who is the cause of the shadow whom the shadow is formed? I repeat, who is the cause of the shadow whom the shadow is formed?
Okay. Uh, One nice question. Actually, um, it has plenty of answers, but one ethical answer is do not blame others for your failure. Neither don't give all the credit to others for your success. You cannot paint without a wall. Others cannot find success in you without you being there. So don't blame others for your failure. At the same time, don't just tell that you are the complete cause of my success. They might have played certain percentage in your life. Sometimes we dedicate our success to our father, to our mother. Do you think that your father and your mother is going to continue with you till you die? They also have a stage. You also have a stage. And during that time, you have to look at yourself. So, shadow is not by others. Shadow is within you. It is how closer you go towards the light of life, so big your shadow grows. How far away you go from the light, so small your shadow becomes. So people who are behind you, if they wanted to see who you are, then you should go closer to the light so that the people who are behind you, your shadow will fall on them. They will understand there is another person in front of me, in front of the light. So he is there in front of me. So this shadow does not hide them, but instead leads them towards the light. Yes, sir. Did I
So,
answer the question?
yes, sir, beautifully. So, you can't paint without a wall. So, don't blame, that is, don't blame other for any failure. That is the first, I think, even I do believe. Stop blaming the circumstances if you want to get anything in life, and that is the best part you
Yes.
have explained on that. So the next one is don't dedicate success totally to anyone, and because it's not possible until you put your efforts. So well explained. So I would want to just proceed with the last question for the day. Do gods have shadow? Because if you should be grateful to God, if you are not grateful, you are a grateful. And so being on this platform, we are grateful to everyone, whoever is the reason for what we are today. Am I right,
Uh,
Sampath sir?
yes. Yes. 100%. I just wanted to tell you, my dear viewers, that Gods may look very old. They are gods of our fathers, of our mothers. But have you ever gone and seen the God becoming old? We may say his God is 400 years old, 500 years old, or this temple is 500 years, the statue inside this temple is 1,000 years or 1 million year old or 1 lakh year old, whatever we may say. Does God grow old? I want to tell you, my dear viewers, I do not know how many of you have seen God, but a beggar sees God in the food in which he eats. A thirsty man sees God when he gets water, when he is very thirsty. A student looks at Guru, the one who helps them to study, as God. A child looks at mother and father, and they look at them and say, "You're God." Gods don't have shadow. I am very clear in this. Gods don't have shadow, because only if I see the God, I can appreciate. So I look at God when I look at my mother. I look at God when I look at my father. I look at God when I look at my Guru. I look at God when I look at those things which gives me life in this world. So when I look at them, they are very, very clear. Can I request Deepak, that tree with all the fruits and the leaves, this is God itself. The tree itself is a God. It gives me everything. So when I'm looking at the tree, can I look at the shadow which is just behind it? Never. So if you look at God, you cannot look at the shadow. Both you cannot see at the same time. When you don't look at God, then you don't look at, you look at the shadow. So God don't have shadow.
Thank you, sir. So, uh, hope we have addressed related question that was an email and that was being uh, uh, asked to our speaker today. So, little bit, I just, with your due permission, little bit, I just want to go out of today's topic because you also uh, have some responsibility as a senior principal, and you are just leading the Namaste Academy since uh, few years. So, I just want to know your opinion on question. So, am I allowed to ask the question?
Please, please, please.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. So, what is your take? What is your opinion on current situation of regarding the education system in Nepal and how it's going to bring revolution? So, what all things are required to bring a revolution? Because uh, since lockdown, many of the students are not able to mm, get the education. So is this the time we need to just proceed further with adaptability with online courses and all this thing, or what are the challenges and what are the plus point, or what are the things that will come as a challenges in upcoming days, in your opinion, as a
See,
senior principal?
yeah, yeah. Actually, I don't want to talk about the situation in Nepal alone, because this is not the situation only in Nepal. the situation throughout the world now. Nepal, it has its own um, problems, like any other country has their own problems. Because when you come into the sector of education, um, the the country's development in all the areas plays a major role in into education. Um, Financial area, affordability, status of the people, condition, the geographical condition of the country, and all the facilities that one country can give to the people with a very less expense. Now, the situation has made everyone to go into a revolution. I want to tell you, everybody, all those people who are calling yourself, I have 20 years experience, 12 years experience in teaching, 10 years experience, I'm a great teacher, I know everything to teach, I can teach this way, that way. All of you, please pull up your socks, because the revolution is silently happening. The revolution is silently happening, and it is going to be a big challenge for all the teachers. You cannot hold on to the old style of teaching, because enough and enough uh, TikTok or YouTube messages or many photo messages have come to the people saying that the schools have banned bringing mobile to the school. Students are advised not to hold mobile in your hand, or students are asked to stay away from the social media. But today, only these three things are needed for the teachers to reach the children for teaching. Now, if you wanted to teach somebody, please, all of you, switch on your mobile, open your internet, go into the site and attend the classes. Now, the schools have gone into the mobile, whereas the school was not allowed to come into the school.
Thank you, Dr.
So, one last thing. So, therefore, please be ready. Everybody learn to teach children through technology, because children hereafter may not bring books to the school very soon. They'll bring either tab or mobile or laptop. They will sit in front of you and we have to teach. It will happen very soon, and it's already happening in some part of the world already.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Samuel Sampath sir. Yes, revolution is silently happening, and we need to get prepared for that. So we are very close to the session, and I would request you, if you have anything to say for regarding the session during your episode 1, 2, if anything is being missed, or you want to uh, provide a conclusion or say anything to your viewers. So the last line from your side, sir, please.
I request everybody who are watching, please feel free to write your comments, because every good comments will keep me where I am. But every comments which ask questions, or which tells that you could have provided better than this, or more than this, or you could have uh, focused on this area too, you're most welcome. Please reach to us, and if Orator House Butwal is getting enough feedback, And if you want me to come back in part 2, part 3 of this life ethics with different topics, I'm here with you, and I will surely enjoy sharing what I know, and I'll be very happy to know from you all too that how did you enjoy this program, how did you appreciate Mr. Govind Raj Adhikari, how do you look at this orator house, and what support that you would like to give them further will be always welcome. And I would like to thank everybody who made this program a beautiful, successful one. With my deepest thanks, and thank you, and namaste to everyone.
Namaste, sir. Thank you for your mesmerizing experience. It's been a pleasure being with Dr. Samuel, our Sampath Senior Principal, Mental Namaste Academy, on session 14, uh, uh, who spoke beautifully. And today it was an amazing speech and provided us a time in his hectic schedule, though he's very busy these days due to online courses and managing all this um, for his uh, school. So still he is being so humble and giving us time whenever we need. And regarding mm, uh, the coordination, hardly we will find someone who is too humble than being on such a position. Dr. Samuel or Sampath sir, I really appreciate. And it's something like the person, whenever the person grow, the qualities become humble and they become soft like a cotton. Because if you be rigid like a stone, uh, you fall soon, and the cotton or feather uh, can sustain for a long time. And for a worst case scenario, if both of the things like feather and uh, stone fall, it's very easy for feather to bounce back, and that is what the quality we need to build in ourselves. And the session was very beautifully directed by sir, so thank you ma once again, sir, for your beautiful experience and words of wisdom. So we believe our viewers certainly uh, will be benefited and will find real hidden power within yourself. It's something like the power within you is identified by you rather than the external part or external bodies. It's you who is going to identify, and that is how you the shadow is within you, your perspective and your belief system, and you become dedicated and work accordingly. So I'm grateful to today's speaker, respected Samuel sir, all the viewers and team of Orator House Butwal, our technical part team 𝑑𝒂𝒂𝒍, uh, the core team Sanjay Singh Kesi, Srijan Malla, Indu Pandey, Avishkar Parazuli, Achyut Gautam, uh, and everyone. Please forgive me if I forgot to name a few. So if anything is missed during this session, like addressing anyone questions, then kindly email us at oratorhousebutwal@gmail.com or info@thinkandgrow.edu.np. We will try to address as far as we can, and we will be connecting to Dr. Samuel R. Sampath sir. And hopefully, if you guys write with your queries and you want to hear anything regarding life ethics, and because we are conducting this session, we are uh, uh, running this Orator House Butwal just to connect to the youth and society and radiating the positivity what we have. And so and just trying to make our surrounding and society a beautiful place to live with. So uh, thank kindly keep supporting and suggesting us as usual, and stay tuned to our Facebook page. Like and subscribe our YouTube channel and Facebook for more update. uh, Thank you everyone. Thank you, our keynote speaker, respected Shamil sir. Thank you, my team. And namaskaram, and stay safe, stay healthy, and stay blessed. Thank you for today.
Thank you.